Up next is our last lightning talk. Tori Brenneison with How to Professionally Broadcast Your Corporate Menty-B on LinkedIn.
All right, hello everyone. So sometimes we have big feelings about work, right? You ever want to put those big feelings about work out on the internet? Jem, does the clicker do anything? Does the clicker do anything? There we go. Okay. You ever have big feelings about your job? And by big feelings, I mean like you want to rage quit because your workplace is toxic and you can't stand your coworkers and you're in a bad mental headspace and like everything just sucks. What if you crank those big feelings up to about like 11 and you put them all on the internet? Nothing could ever go wrong with that. We love putting our feelings on the internet. And where do we put our corporate feelings? We put them on LinkedIn, because that's where we cosplay as professionals. Nothing could go wrong. My qualifications to talk about this are, well, I've had a few Menty-Bs of my own, not corporate Menty-Bs, not about work, just your standard mental health Menty-Bs. But once I was volunteered by my team to get all the screenshots of a former coworker's professional Menty-B on LinkedIn for his inevitable legal incident. It was fun. I have the evidence still. We thought there was going to be a trial. It was messy. Here's the thing. If you're going to put all your corporate feelings out on the internet, any engagement is good engagement. We love social media. Hit that like button. You want likes. You want comments. You don't care what kind of likes and comments you're getting. You just need more of them. And how do you get more of them? You have a Menty-B on LinkedIn. First of all, you should rage quit your job. You want to use lots of emojis. You're going to make a big announcement, and you're going to say like a really passive-aggressive thing. Like the tone has to be balanced. Passive, aggressive, balanced. You've left your job because you'll never forget the lessons that you learned, and you're so grateful for the opportunity. But now you need something different because the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, or at least less brown. Verbatim from a core like Menty-BS on LinkedIn. The grass is less brown. So once you announce that you're looking for a new position or you're going to quit your job in the most dramatic way possible, with, by the way, really use the hashtags. It's a perfect place for thinly veiled insults. Then, to entice all the recruiters, you're of course going to need an About Me post. And this should be like, dial the narcissism all the way up. Okay? You are the greatest thing the tech industry has ever had, and your former coworkers will not know what they're missing. Okay? Like, you're going to throw your prior coworkers and prior company under the bus in this step. Also, again, use those passive-aggressive hashtags, and then you need a picture of yourself looking really serious, and the more computers you're using, at least 3, the better, so that they know how good of a technologist you are. I know that personally, I use no less than 8 computers at work every day. It's about quantity, not quality. The next thing you're going to do is announce a major life change because you've actually had it with technology and you're done. At this point, the Menty-B is really cranking up. You can't even look at a computer. You're going to put your 3, 8, 12 computers away and never touch them again because you're going to go to your hobby and make that your job now. The entire tech industry is going to miss you. You're going to collect vintage postcards instead. It needs to be, by the way, a really inane hobby that makes absolutely no money, because that's how hard you're quitting everything. Unfortunately, though, you're going to realize that you need to pay bills. And it helps if you have a family with a lot of medical conditions that you can talk about to also throw them under the bus, because your wife, who is the light of your life, your world, has reminded you that finding your passion does not pay the bills. And also, she has 21 medical conditions and really needs health insurance. Thank you. You got to go back to work. Bonus points if you have 20 to 40 children, also with medical conditions, because recruiters who feel bad for you will offer you more jobs, naturally. So then you need to be really humble. You're gonna re-enter the workforce. Maybe tech isn't so bad after all. You'll really miss your 48-hour-long career in vintage postcards. But then it turns out that since you already quit one job and now the recruiters are kind of bored with you and they realize that you're a little bit unstable because you're putting all your big feelings about work on the internet, no one's responding to you. So instead what you have to do is you have to get even bigger with your big feelings. You need to be as passive-aggressive, argumentative, narcissistic, whiny, and problematic as possible on the internet, publicly, corporately, professionally, for everyone to see. Which means it's time to bring out your latent problematic tendencies, your latent misogyny, your latent racism, your latent transphobia. LinkedIn is the place to put all of those things, right? Recruiters love that. They love it when they feel really good about hiring you because you are toxic as heck. So you should find a woman or something on the internet who's just existing on LinkedIn and posting things about her job. And you should make comments like, it's nice to see a technical woman or one that is not just woke. You should comment that on a lot of random people who you just found so that everyone interacts with you. The angry emoji is still engagement, and you want engagement. The more recruiters see you being active on LinkedIn, the more job offers you're gonna get, even though you haven't gotten any so far. Someone offers to help you with your Menty-B? No, you double down on being passive-aggressive, whiny, narcissistic, and problematic, because your ultimate goal is to end up here on LinkedIn Lunatics on Reddit. There's a whole community dedicated to the Menty-Bs on LinkedIn. So finally, thank you very much, and please try not to get banned from LinkedIn like my former colleague did. He's the only person I know who has been deplatformed on a professional network. Thank you.